Hey everybody, it's here. Welcome back to Glow Beauty Wellness here on YouTube. And sad topic today. Sad news. YouTuber. I never heard of this gorgeous woman named Jessica Pettyway until today. Came across um, on my For You page or Discover page, whatever it's called on YouTube, about a beauty influencer and YouTuber who passed away by the name of Jessica Pettyway, and she made a post where she was talking about, and I will leave her link, and there she is. I mean, just gorgeous. She was a wife and a mother and a YouTuber, pretty big. Her channel has like over 200,000 subscribers and just a whole lot of influence. Her Instagram, 151 followers, so influential, beautiful black beauty influencer. And in this post in particular, it talks about how she was misdiagnosed. So she starts off talking about how she had not been posting because she had received some devastating news. She was diagnosed with stage 3 cervical cancer. She talked about how she was having intense vaginal bleeding. She said it was intense. She said she was bleeding out. She called around and asked other women if they experienced this before, and the majority of them said that they have had. No, intense vaginal bleeding is not normal. Even if you don't have cancer, it's not normal. I don't care who says what. So she felt like it was normal, but she experienced fatigue and weakness, not feeling like herself, but she accepted this as a normal symptom that most women go through. Then she said in July 2022, her husband found her in the bathroom unresponsive and not breathing. She said she passed away. She's a believer. She talks about how Jesus brought her back. She was rushed to the hospital. And they said that the extreme blood loss was due to fibroids, in quotations. The gynecologist made it seem like it was so normal and common. And this strikes me as interesting because later on she talks about how the final diagnosis, where they finally told her, no, you have cancer, isn't the gynecologist supposed to look inside of you? The final diagnosis was when they said they saw a mass that was so big that she couldn't see the cervix. But let me finish reading. Okay. The doctors in the hospital said that it was fibroids. And she put this in quotations. The bleeding stopped, but then it was replaced with labor-like pains. If you've ever given birth, you know that is not to be played with. If you've ever given birth, you know it's nothing to be played with. So she was hospitalized again. Again, the medical professionals treated it like it was not alarming since it was a fibroid, quotations. She said the bleeding stopped, and then December 2022, the bleeding came back. She was hospitalized for a week. Surgery, I was told I could not get surgery to remove the fibroid due to the lack of blood supply. So her hemoglobin level was at a 4. She had to receive 10 transfusions. Okay, so it sounds like, okay, so they didn't, wow. And a lot of people are saying that, black women don't get the medical attention that they need. They're saying her post is saying she was misdiagnosed. And now, for me, I have to read something a few times and then see or hear other people's take on what is being said. Because how do you mistake one? I thought fibroids are like multiple. I have a friend who had fibroids and she got a ton removed and it looked like little Brussels sprouts. So I didn't know that. I don't know. I've never had fibroids or experienced that. So I'm just trying to figure out, do fibroids come in one or do they come in a bunch? Okay. Her last and final appointment where they confirmed that it was in fact cancer. Oh gosh. She says it was one doctor who felt some concern. So this was the first doctor to show some concern. I told her it was okay to check. The doctor wanted to look at things down there. And she said it didn't take too long before she looked at me and said she could not even see her cervix because it had been blocked by a huge mass. She scheduled me for an oncologist appointment. And then the anesthesiologist said, yep, you have, no. When I woke up from anesthesia, he casually mentioned, okay, the oncologist casually mentioned, yep, you have stage 3 cervical cancer. It turns out it was not a fibroid, but cancer. I was misdiagnosed all this time. I remember hearing, okay, and then she talks about, she's a Christian, obviously, and she talks about how she was not going to let the diagnosis, defeat her. I started my channel, in 2014, because I because I went to the doctor and they did the same shit with me. Oh, and I've never been diagnosed with anything like that. But I'm telling the doctors, hey, I keep getting yeast infections. Hey, I keep getting, what is going on? Oh, here's a pill, here's a pill, here's a pill. Thankfully, I was able to get myself back right, get myself healthy. I don't know if I can say the word HEAL here on YouTube. I don't know what's going on with the trigger words and stuff like that, but I was able to HEAL myself through food and herbs and teas and tinctures and supplements, so on and so forth. I still have the E guide. It's not really a book. It's a guide on my protocol. Excuse me. I'm drinking a little bit of bubbly. So I still have that available, and I am still symptom free. And so I say all that to say that we have to be our number one advocate for our bodies. I don't like going to the doctor or taking advice from doctors. Now, I will go to the ER. You can give me a CAT scan and check my blood and make sure, nothing crazy is going on. But I definitely know myself best. And it sounds like in reading her post, that she knew something was up, but sometimes we doubt ourselves. But at the same time, our intuition tells us when something is not right. And sometimes it's always better to be safe than sorry. So what I'm hearing, though, is if there was a mass big enough, fibroids are usually inside of, I don't know, because I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor. But from what I have heard from people that have had fibroids, it's inside of the uterus, and that's why ladies can look pregnant, because the fibroids can be really big. So if the fibroid was in her vaginal canal, what in the entire F? So what that says to me too is this poor woman was suffering, and I don't know. What I'm thinking is that was she? Let me put, gosh. If there's a mass blocking the view of the cervix, because we all know how they go in and they do the beak thing to check our cervix, to do the pap smears and stuff like that. Gosh, I don't know, because I feel they tell us every 3 years now or every 4 years. So what I'm thinking, I'm trying to figure out how to say this, but if sex is painful, that's why they ask is it painful having sex? Da, 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 da. This is just so sad. I don't want to ramble. I'm rambling, but this is so unfortunate. And I just want you to use your intuition, be mindful when it comes to your health and how you feel. Quick story time. Recently, I took a fat burner pill that I had taken before, but I took kind of on an empty stomach, and it made me have the craziest reaction, you all, to where I had my husband call 911, because I'm the paramedics thought I was tweaking. I'm I don't do drugs. This is, I took a fucking diet thing, and they took me to the hospital. They checked my blood work. They did a CAT scan. They did all of the things. And it turns out I am in tip-top health and shape. But I literally felt it was going to be a wrap for me. So, saying all that to say this: be mindful of your health. Advocate for yourself. If you have to go to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 specialists to see why it is you are not feeling like yourself, then do that. And also in your day-to-day life, take care of yourself. Eat healthy. Work out. Do your breath work. Have healthy energy and have healthy people, healthy energy, reside in a healthy house. Just do all the things that need to be done for balance. Restore balance in your body, restore balance in your mind and your spirit, and always trust that you know best, and always remember that we have our intuition to tap into when something just doesn't feel right. And reading this young lady's post, it seemed like she knew something wasn't right. We have been conditioned to believe that excess bleeding and cramping and things like that are normal, and it's not normal to have excessive heavy bleeding, to have crazy cramps and all these things. It's not normal. It is not normal. And before we go to Dr. Google for our final diagnosis, or our friends or whatever like that, make sure you get your 4, 5, 6 different opinions. Have them check everything. Have them, wherever you're feeling the symptoms, hey, check there. Check again, because something's not right. Check again. Let's not let her death be in vain. May she rest in peace. Our condolences to her family. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next video.